next sitting day. Call on Government Orders of the Day numbers 2 and 3.
Environment Canterbury, Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill, Committee stage continued. Child Support Amendment Bill, Committee stage.
I declare the House in committee for further consideration of the Environment Canterbury, Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill and consideration of the Child Support Amendment Bill. Mr Chairman.
Mr Speaker. The House is in committee. Kia ora tātou nō reira. Te whare inga iwi, inga rio, inga hawe wha tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Greetings, greetings, greetings to you all. We are the people, we are the culture, we are from the four corners of the earth. How's that? Has that got you, Trevor? Good. Okay, we're on. Now look, folks, members, the House is in committee for further consideration of the Environment Canterbury, Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill and consideration of the Child Support Amendment Bill. Members, we turn first to the Environment Canterbury, Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill, and when the committee's consideration of this bill was interrupted, it was debating clauses 1 through to 3. The Honourable Damien O'Connor had the call and has 4 minutes 37 seconds remaining if he so wishes. I recognise the Honourable Member Grant Robertson.
And I recognise the Chair as well. Thank you very much, Mr Chair. Debating as we are here clauses 1 to 3, the what are traditionally known as the title and commencement clauses. And in particular, I do want to address the title of the bill, the Environment Canterbury Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill. And it is that word temporary in the title, Mr Chair, that concerns me greatly, because this is rapidly becoming permanent, not temporary commissioners. The approach that this government took was initially for this to be a temporary measure. Nick Smith said, whatever the circumstances, the next regional council elections in Canterbury will take place no later than those scheduled for late 2013. That's what he said. Whatever the circumstances, and yet, Mr Chair, we have in front of us today a bill that really isn't about temporary commissioners anymore. It's about making permanent the taking away of democracy from the people of Canterbury. So this bill is misnamed, Mr Chair. It should not be called the Temporary Commissioners Bill, because this government appears to have no intention of returning to democracy in Canterbury. Yet, time and again, not only have they told the people of New Zealand that this would be temporary and that there would be elections in 2013, but their officials have told this government that they should move to a different model. And in fact, if the officials had had their way, Mr Chair, this bill would have been called the Environment Canterbury Mixed Model of Commissioners and Elected Officials Bill, because that's what was proposed by the officials. The Department of Internal Affairs and the Ministry for the Environment recommended to the government that they move to a model where at least there was some democratic representation on Environment Canterbury. But no, the government dismissed that. They didn't want to see democracy return in any form whatsoever for the people of Canterbury when it comes to their regional council. They weren't interested in a mixed governance model like this. David Carter, actually, when he was the minister, said that he was interested in such a model, but the mind was changed, and it was changed fundamentally, Mr Chair, because this legislation is not about democracy. This legislation is about irrigation. That is what this legislation is about. It could easily be titled the Environment Canterbury Temporary Commissioners and Ensuring We Can Get Irrigation for Our Mates Bill, because that's what it could be called, because the government's actually been quite clear that this is all about irrigation. And let's just stop for a moment, Mr Chair, and think about a country where democracy can be suspended in a large region, suspended not just temporarily, but on into the future, in order that a small group of people get to benefit financially or get to benefit in terms of irrigation for them. What kind of country is that, Mr Chair? It's no kind of country that I want to be part of. It stinks of cronyism. It's anti-democratic, Mr Chair, and fundamentally that's what this bill is. It is anti-democratic. It is not about some temporary arrangement for some misguided view that perhaps there was chaos reigning down in Canterbury. It is an arrangement where democracy has now been denied for 2 successive elections to the people of Canterbury. And it should actually be called the Environment Canterbury Denial of Democracy Bill, because that is what this bill is doing. It is saying to the people of Canterbury that the needs and wants of a small group of people for their irrigation is far more important than the democratic will of those people. And that is a shame and a stain upon this government, Mr Speaker, Mr Chair, because the government was told time and time again in this process that they did not need to carry on this intervention. Again, from the regulatory impact statement from the officials, given the progress made by the Commission, there is no apparent reason for continuing this level of intervention. So the government had the advice from officials. The commissioners themselves said they would prefer a mixed governance model, and yet the government carried on and said, we don't want to see democracy return to the people of Canterbury. That is not on, Mr Speaker. That is no way to run a region, and it is no way to run a country to base it on cronyism, inside deals. It's time this government got real and remember that this is a country that's founded on democratic principles. They don't get to trade those away in deals with multinationals overseas or Sky City in New Zealand, and they don't get to take away the rights of people in New Zealand to have a say. This bill should be renamed, Mr Speaker. It is the Environment Canterbury Denial of Democracy Bill. It is not about temporary commissioners. It's about taking away democratic rights from New Zealanders, and that is a shame on this government.
Mr Chairman.
I call the honourable member Sua William Seo.